Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NBA strategy show presented by PrizePicks. I'm Dave Loughran at Lafayette_D, joined by Josh Engleman at Josh Engleman on the Twitters, talking a little, once again, one game showdown action coming off a Denver, mounting a big comeback yesterday to go up 2-0. But man, how about the Boston Celtics in game one? Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler doing his thing again, as Josh would affectionately refer to him as. He wasn't here yesterday, so I'm going to run this back again. The worst of the best player.
Yeah.
Right? The worst of the best, as you would label him.
Yeah.
Fantastic game, 43 minutes, 6 steals, coming up clutch. Of course, the Boston Celtics finding ways to self-inflict wounds at this point. You know, it's kind of funny, man, thinking about it. Like the Heat got through the Knicks in 6. Probably would have been 5 if Jimmy Butler played all of those games. They cruised past the Bucks. Of course, Giannis was out, but still, Heat were dogs in every one of those games, even with Giannis sidelined. The Celtics played 6 games against the Hawks. Then they went 7 against an inferior Sixers team. Do you think that we should be taking and just put the odds to the side, put everything to the side for a second? Just look at it from the way that this Heat team is playing. Do you think we should be taking this Heat team seriously in the sense that they pushed this to 7, they could win this series? Or do you still feel very confident that the Boston Celtics have this in the bag?
I mean, I don't know if I would say in the bag, but they're very clearly overwhelming favorites in most games. They are 9-point favorites today.
I know.
Like,
and they should be.
Yeah. Like, look, losing the first game makes this more interesting, but Boston's still minus 220 to win this series. Like, I can't ignore that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people are going to want to ignore it. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Let's see. Total game, like 7 games is the favorite. 6 games and 7 games are basically like a coin flip between the two.
Well, that's also because if it's a 6 game, that means that Boston has to win on the road. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's not like Miami has a home court advantage.
Well, they do. Any team does. You're still traveling. You're still playing on the road.
They've got one of the lesser home court advantages of anybody.
But
it's not like they're going to show up to the game. They don't give a fuck.
Sure, but it's still baked into the number.
Yeah, look, inherently the home team has an advantage, but if we're ranking home court advantages, Miami's at the bottom, and
sure,
Miami's biggest advantage is maybe guys go do drugs the night before.
Yeah, right. And you're talking about the opposing team. Yeah.
But so obviously like Miami can win the series. And just like we said at the end of the Bucks series, and everybody's going to lose their mind when I say this, if Miami wins this series, Boston's still the better basketball team. Miami just happened to succeed. Kudos to them. That's the goal. Like, no, it doesn't matter. Right. They don't, like, Boston's not going to hang a banner for being paper champions or anything like that. But the Boston Celtics are the better team. It's not even close, really.
Yeah, if you ran the series back again after Miami won, the Celtics would still be favorites in the series for sure.
Yep, massive favorites.
Look, they lost 2 days ago. They're 9-point favorites today. You know, it's funny. Sixers took them 7. Celtics were favored in every single one of those games. They were favored in every single one of those games against Atlanta. It's just kind of the way it goes. Hey, David Estrada, thanks for all you guys do. I chopped a $4 4-point play on DraftKings with a lot of people, but to get 300 plus back on a $4 entry means a lot to a guy who plays low dollar stakes most of the time. Hell yeah, man. Congrats.
Awesome. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
Me too. We had somebody else yesterday that had in the 4-point play. It might've been from a day or two ago, $800 on the 4-point play. So I put it in there every day, listen to the shows. Yeah, it's awesome. We love seeing that. Listen, man, 4 in the 300 is a massive ROI. Massive.
I assume he got all of that information because I wasn't on the strategy show yesterday. Not a lot of NBA knowledge on this guy right here.
Yeah, that comment was
hates FanDuel too.
Yeah, that which is funny because you've largely over time been the person that spends the most time on FanDuel.
Yeah, they've got like a really shitty single game product for the NBA. That's
their showdown.
It's untalkable.
Well, it's not. It just means that our show would be 7 minutes long.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, rank the guys in order of how frequently they're going to be the top scorer, and then, play them in that sort of proportion.
Yeah. And then maybe leave some salary at the bottom. Yeah, pretty much.
I
Happy to
appreciated
have
you
you
and
guys
Adam
with.
white knighting for me, though.
Was that?
I appreciated you and Adam white knighting for me.
That's not white knight, man. That's just be out there being a friend. That's all it
Nah,
is.
no, white knights.
I mean, look, man.
I laughed hard for all of it, so it was really
I'll tell you
entertaining to
this
me.
much. Just being a friend, not out here trying to blow you, getting Twitter rewards.
If only.
I know. I'm not trying because I've just failed so many times in the past. But we're happy to have you guys with us. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below. For those of you listening after the fact, comment, podcast form. We don't see you, but we know you're out there. Yeah. Leave a rating, a review. All that stuff goes a very long way, and we appreciate you for it. Subscribe to the pod. Tell your friends. Oh, all right. Ken Ratty, atone. Thank you. Yes, atone for your sins here. It only takes a single second. It's still early enough in the morning to turn around that shitty day you're having by hitting that thumbs up and feeling a whole lot better about yourself and your life. I was listening to Norm Macdonald clips this morning to get me in the mood, man. I posted one on Twitter where he's talking about the disease of alcoholism.
Yeah.
And it is one of the funniest, because when he would do stand-up, he would riff. He talked about it. He wouldn't go in there with, like a set that he would riff. He'd have some ideas and then he would just riff on them. And I mean, one of the most brilliant men to ever exist. And it gets me in a good mood. Listen, he did the Dirty Johnny joke, 7-minute joke on the Howard Stern show. And the thing about Norm was that it was never the punchline, right? It was the buildup. It was the 7-8, the moth joke, the dirt. It was always the buildup that was actually the joke. And so many people never understood him. They're just like, that wasn't funny. And they missed everything about it. The punchline was meaningless. It was the buildup to it with kind of a fall flat punchline. And you go, oh shit, that was brilliant.
He was the best. I hate that he's gone. It's just, he was the absolute best. You and I started our mornings differently. You were watching Norm. I should have done that.
What were you doing?
Well, not that I didn't enjoy what I did. I watched Lulz from yesterday.
I watched that last night. I
watched it this morning.
Shout out to Pete Overzet. I actually DM'd Brick last night. I was like, hey, you guys did a great job on that. You did a great job on that. Really good content. That was a really good podcast. Yeah. And by the way, I'm someone that does not consume any industry content whatsoever. I don't.
Yeah. That's different because they run independent of everything. They are like a repository for these things.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant I'm somebody that kind of at times lives in a bubble. Like the drama stuff, I usually don't give a shit about.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk shit about both sides because I don't have a dog in the fight. None of it matters to me. I don't know anything. I'll make whatever joke I can that I think is funny in the moment, and I won't think twice about it.
I mean, look, it's an interesting situation, is it not?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Just because there's so much unknown, but they did. Regardless, they did a good job. Like someone said, give these guys a Pulitzer. They did a good job. They did a really good job.
I mean, the best part by far is I think we're going to be on the same page here.
When Brick.
What? No. Pete's leading question to the new site. Why our former colleague?
Oh, yes. I thought there were a few good questions.
I don't mean that was the only good question, but like,
no, I think
I popped hard for that one.
Hard hitting journalism there. The fellas did a good job.
It was fun, man. Look, I like that kind of stuff. It's nice to have that kind. Like, I'm glad that niche exists.
Me too. Yeah,
where you just get like because they got like Pete and Brick, they don't have any like tie to any of this shit. They're just there to like have a good time and walk their way through it. That's what makes it better. It's more entertaining that way. It's a great show.
Absolutely. You should check it out. You should check that out for sure. Plus, Brick has been a friend of Stochastic for a long time now, and he's done some great job on the contrary over the years.
I was gonna say pops on pretty regularly during the NFL season.
Ready to get into this?
I am. I don't want to talk about this, if I'm being honest, which is probably not the way to lead off the NBA strategy show.
It's really bad, actually.
It is, but I mean it, though. That's the thing.
Go watch Lulz. I don't want to talk about this.
Honestly, it's not as fun of a series I don't know why that is. Miami, Boston is just inherently like less interesting to me than Denver and LA. But it's just blah. This is such a blah series, and I can't figure out why.
It is, but I guess you just don't like Heat series, it appears.
No, I mean like the Heat Knicks series is unequivocally
that was
like
bad.
An absolute dog shit second round series that shouldn't exist in the way that it does.
Heat Bucks actually got really interesting once the Heat looked like they were actually, had some.
That became interesting for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Sean said, get used to it. The Heat winning the ship.
Well, I mean, he's the dumbest guy that shows up in chat, so he would think that.
I don't know. You're really ingratiating yourself today with the audience and with.
No, he knows. Else. I tell him every single show. I mean, the Heat are the biggest underdogs in the. They have the same odds to win the NBA title as the Lakers. That's how not good the Heat are.
Let me be clear, though. Yeah, I know. Let me be clear. You're very right. This series is not nearly as interesting as Denver or Lakers at all. Although, see, this is where I'm different than you. I situationally, I think things can get very interesting, even if it wasn't originally the best series. What I mean by that, if Denver goes up 3-0 and you're like, okay, they were favored to win the series. They're a phenomenal basketball team. Sure, I'll watch game 4, and maybe the Lakers make some Herculean comeback and they end up winning in 7. Unlikely, but whatever. After 3 games, fine. Or maybe the Lakers tie it up at 2 again, and you're like, hey, this is a great series. If Miami were to happen to go up 2-0 against Boston, that to me just makes it significantly more interesting because we know that Boston on paper is the better team. So then you've got Boston traveling to Miami. I'm kind of invested in seeing if Miami can win this series now. So I look at it that way. I know you don't see it the same, but that would make the series more interesting for me if Miami really keeps punching and keeps this alive, and not only alive, but keeps front running the series in terms of wins and going up ahead of them.
Yeah, like it's really interesting. If the Heat win today, that series basically becomes like a little bit more than a coin flip to Miami.
Yeah,
it creates more it creates more intrigue for sure. Look, I've said it from the jump. I just want the best teams to play each other over and over again, and the best teams right now are the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. Like that's what I want to be the final series. I think that's an exceptional finals. I just like it's the only weird part of all of this is how fraudulent Boston looks like every 5 days. Otherwise, like they're just really, really, really good.
You know, and I agree, but you know the problem.
And look, and if the Heat the Heat can win the NBA title, I know that's like I come out here and I shit on like plus 850 is not a particularly likely outcome. 10% things happen all the time. You know, like this is like predicting a home run in one at bat for like a really good home run hitter. Like that shit happens.
You know what sucks about the right? Exactly. Yeah, 8-1 home runs happen all the time.
Yeah.
The one thing that sucks though, with situations like this, and you know we've seen it a lot over the years with certain teams. It doesn't always happen. It usually doesn't, but when it does, you have a team that makes this Cinderella story, gets to the finals, or you know maybe let's say gets to the NCAA championship. That's usually a good example, and then they just get shit on, and it all leads up to that. And everything crumbles, right? Their legs fall out from underneath them when it matters most. And you go, okay, so maybe it wasn't worth them getting here because they ended up being terrible. And now it's a 40-point game at halftime.
I think we're going to see that today.
Yeah. You know, last night when I saw Boston at -9, I was like, I might take the points here. But the more I thought about it this morning, just digging into this, I do think it's possible that this game, I'm not saying the series as a whole, I do think it's entirely possible that Boston just comes out and routs them today. But you know what the problem is with Boston, Josh? They make some crucial mistakes, the turnovers and all of that. Yeah. They do live and die by the 3 though. Like I know Tatum can get inside, Jaylen Brown, sure, but you don't have an interior presence in Al Horford. And if Robert Williams is scoring, he's doing it by getting, putbacks and easy opportunities, alley-oops around the basket. if they're really going to take off and run away with the game, it's because Jason Tatum has 7 threes and Malcolm Brogdon's red hot off the bench from beyond the arc.
Yeah, look, you should live and die by the three. It's a better shot, generally speaking. So, like, you should go into that regard. I'm going to dunk on Chandra again. Heat defense travels. Stop saying the Heat aren't good. Heat defense in the playoffs so far, 10th of all playoff teams. 10th. It's traveling where? Where exactly is the Heat defense traveling? Because they are not what you think they are. They are 4th in offense. If we want to talk about the Heat offense traveling,
that's the crazy
that appears
part.
to be a thing. Right, exactly. Yeah, they're 10th in defense right now. Behind Boston, I might add, but by the 100th of a point. But neither the principle of the matter still stands here. So why are we going to act like this was a Miami defensive endeavor? They have a better offensive rating relative to the rest of playoff teams than defensive rating by quite a bit. But we'll ignore facts in these scenarios. That's way easier to just say things with no information behind them.
Look, incredible. It's a 9-point spread, 215.5 total. Jimmy Butler coming off a heck of a game last time out. He's expensive today. He's actually more expensive than Jason Tatum. 35, 5-7, and 6 steals last game. Yeah. And then you have Jason Tatum. You know what surprised me about this? Let's dig into the analysis a little bit here. Get into the slate.
Let's do it.
Hit that thumbs up for you guys just walking in the door. Maybe you forgot. That's okay. I'm here to remind you. A little subtle nudge. So last game, Jason Tatum attempted 3 threes. That was very odd to me, I must say. 3 3-point attempts in that game. I mean, I don't really get it. Him and Jaylen Brown combined for 2 threes on the day. You know how many threes the starting lineup hit last game?
Not a lot.
Take a guess. The whole starting lineup.
5.
Nailed it.
Look at that.
5 threes for that team. A team that was neck and neck in the regular season with Golden State for the highest 3-point frequency in the league. So I just don't imagine that happening again today.
No.
I like Jason Tatum a lot, actually. I think you get a considerable bounce back game in this spot. We know that he's the type of guy that is going to play 40 plus minutes every single game. And he still finished with 30 last game, by the way. 1 assist, outlier performance. I understand that was game 1. It's a different matchup, but I still looked at Jason Tatum in a spot where he's now cheaper than Jimmy Butler and go, yeah, I can live with that.
I mean, I'm very much team Tatum in this regard. He's in 92% of my lineups. I think he's very clearly a better play than Jimmy Butler. I don't know why Jimmy Butler is priced ahead of Jason Tatum, but I want all things Tatum today in comparison to Butler. Not that Butler's like a bad player or anything, but if you're comparing the two, I don't think that there's any sort of path where you can say that Butler looks better.
No, and it's not like Jimmy Butler's playing considerably more minutes. And it's not Tatum's playing 38, Butler's playing 44. They're going to play right around the same amount of minutes in this game.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to give Butler an extra minute in a projection, I won't talk you out of it. I think that you are projecting the 2 best players on opposite teams that are both wings to play the same amount of playing time today. I mean, honestly, it is slightly different just because the Celtics are 9-point favorites. The path to them being up 15-20 is bigger than it normally is late in this game. But either way, all things Tatum.
I'm with you. 92%. How much captain Tatum you got right now?
17. So under what we're projecting for sure. But I'm, casting a wider net around some of these other guys. I'm getting to Brogdon, who is not pulling as much captain ownership as I would have expected. Getting to Bam, getting to Time Lord because of his price tag, which is interesting to talk about. I don't think he's going to start tonight, but we'll see where we go.
That is interesting though, because right now we have Tatum 76% owned collectively, right? Captain and utility.
Yeah.
46% at utility, 29 at captain in our showdown ownership projections.
Yeah.
What you're saying though is you have 90. So you're over the field on him at overall ownership, under the field at captain by a considerable amount, but way over the field at utility.
Yeah, I've got 75 at utility. We're projecting 46. Just to be clear here, though, he came out of my sim 26% optimal at captain. So I'm under my number, but I just think that he's a little over-owned at captain. I think that I can build out a little bit more utility by moving him to the utility, I guess.
Rough Buff said the Heat playing with house money, no pressure. No, there's pressure, dude. There's pressure. They're at the Eastern Conference Final. This isn't round one. And I don't look at anything playing with house money at this point.
No, they don't. If they lose this series, they don't look at this as a success.
No.
And look, it's a successful season. Like, this is the Giannis question, I guess. Like, in totality, the Heat had a really successful season. They are all irritated and pissed off if they don't win this series.
Look at it this way. Let's say they don't win this series, right? Are you going, oh, we played with house money, when you know that next year your odds of getting this far are going to be insanely long? This would be a little bit different if it was a real young basketball team. Like, let's say the Oklahoma City Thunder just made
that's house money.
That's house money, because you know that you're on the come up. Yeah. This is a burgeoning young team that is not even close to their peak. With Miami, this may be the peak with this current roster.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it should be.
Right. It should have already been.
Yeah.
So I don't look at it as house money. I look at them going, this might be our last chance with this roster to do it. I look at this as a more urgent situation than I do with a lot of other teams, to be completely honest.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that Jimmy Butler will never have better odds to win an NBA title than he does today, right now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Unless somehow, I don't know that.
Obviously, if they win today, they get slightly better, but they're not expected to win. And if they don't win today, the odds drop dramatically. Like, today is as good as their chances will ever be to win an NBA title.
Yeah, everybody in chat laughing at me because I said it's probably their last chance. Why are we acting like the Heat are just perennial, or this Heat roster is expected to be a perennial contender?
No, they're going to be okay. Like, let's just do it like this. Let's be really, really generic about it.
Okay, and also they got by the Bucks without Giannis. I'm not taking anything away from him. What I'm saying is, next year you still have the Celtics and you still have the Bucks, and
somebody has to win each playoff game. There's a winner and a loser in all of them. Yeah. We assign too much credit for the W's. Doesn't mean, like, it's their goal. It's awesome. That's what we should celebrate the wins. Doesn't mean that makes it more predictable. The Milwaukee Bucks are absolutely going to be significantly bigger favorites to win the East next year. So will the Boston Celtics. The Sixers probably will be. We don't know what they're doing yet. Cleveland is going to have better odds to win the NBA title next year than the Miami Heat. The Knicks will likely be pretty close. There's probably one other team that we could add to that list that makes Miami's odds similar. They're not even going to be 50-50 to host a playoff series next year. Doesn't mean they're not having a good year.
Right. This is not some insulting rhetoric. It's just that it's not house money. They have a lot to play for. Yeah. And John said 3 conference finals over the last 4 years. I know, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Kind of. They're 25-1 next year with the futures odds right now to win the finals.
They were the second oldest roster this year too. The Heat.
Right. Exactly. There you go. I didn't know that, but I knew they were older. Second oldest roster. They have the 11th shortest odds.
And they don't exactly have mechanisms to get new talent or be younger in the near future.
No. The only advantage would be that, you have the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Sixers ahead of them. Outside of that, the East is just a mess.
Sort of.
It is. Yeah, I'm not looking at the Knicks and going, I think they are a team that could really make a run, or not.
I disagree there.
No,
I would rather be the Knicks than the Heat right now.
Sure, but what I'm saying is I don't look at them as a team that next year going in. I don't look at them as a team that I'm still not taking them seriously to get to the finals next year.
No, neither am I, but they have enough assets to upgrade their team. Like, I like the future more sort of for the Knicks than I do for Cleveland, because I don't know how upgradable Cleveland can be. They're asset poor. Even though I love Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen as like a core, the Knicks have like legitimate assets to move this forward.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll give you that. But just looking at, like a Julius Randle type, that's not a guy I want leading the charge deep into the postseason.
No, they're not. It's not the most likely scenario. Nobody's disrespecting the Heat. We're evaluating them correctly.
And DF said, when Jimmy retires, you can talk. He's my favorite basketball player. You guys are being moronic.
Sportsbooks are willing to take millions of dollars on this information. We're not just like making this up.
I like Jimmy Butler more than any player in the league. And how many times have we fought about that? I love Jimmy Butler. Yeah. I love that guy. I love watching him play. He's so fun. That doesn't change facts. No. It doesn't change. I mean, whatever. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Can you imagine if the Heat are going to end up winning this entire thing, and it's going to be so irritating.
Someone asked who that voice. Yeah, I know. Yo, it'd be the worst if it was Heat Kings in the finals and just everything we've said about well, we weren't wrong about the Kings, though. They ended up becoming the Kings.
Spot on the entire time. Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Oh, see, there you go. Your info is irrelevant when it comes to my Heat and Jimmy Butler. Your stats do not apply. That's a hell of a way to live life, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes it makes it really easy to just cruise through life at that point in time.
Mateus, tell me how to pronounce that again. Mateus, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. Astutely points out, yes, it's 2023. You're right. Feelings are far more important than facts in this day and age. So
yeah.
Right. But it drives me up a wall when people are like, I told my truth. There is no my truth.
No.
You told the truth.
You sound like Matt Walsh.
What?
You trying to tell me what a woman is? You sound like Matt Walsh.
Oh. What was that called? What is a woman?
Yeah.
But it is true. Like, you either told the truth or you told a lie. There is no, well, my truth was that. It's the same thing.
Truth. Like, we talk about this a lot, and I don't mean to be like this. I just can't help it. When I look at a line like Celtics -9, or I look at the futures odds, so many people want to look at that and be like, this is why it's wrong. When the opposite should be the case. You should be like, well, why do I think the opposite? Because that information is more correct than you will ever be. You track the times that you think those are wrong, the Vegas odds are going to convene at being accurate, and you're going to look more wrong. That's just how this is going to work. When I look at those odds, that's how I'm going to form my opinions. And I'm going to be like, well, shit, I thought the Heat were better than that, but goddamn, they're 9-point dogs today. Like, what am I missing? Why are the Heat such giant underdogs that I think that they should be like 2-point favorites today or some stupid shit?
But you're missing one thing. Your stats do not apply here. They are not pertinent here.
Yes.
Josh,
yeah.
It's all.
I'm not even looking at stats. This is a betting market.
No, it's all right here.
Yeah.
Right here. It's all that matters.
Yeah. Can you imagine? All these people running around like, what's in my brain is the best, and what's in their brain is like the computer that I had in 8th grade, and now we've got ChatGPT. It's like that's what we're talking about right now.
And by the way, that voice was Jacob Roach, our producer, Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm still trying to get him to get the producer cam set up so he can pop on there from time to time. I had to claw to get Jordan Klein to do that, and then he would just lie and tell me that it didn't work anymore, which I knew wasn't true because you can just set scenes up for it. But it was his truth, Josh. And who am I to counter his truth? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know when truth became opinions and arbitrary, but boy, oh boy, it did.
Soon enough. Jacob threw a poll up there. Which team would you rather be this offseason? Oh, that's a great one. All right. Heat, Knicks, and then I want to get into your captain ownership. I want to get into your Josh, you hear me? I want to get to your exposure. I'm looking at the poll and I'm disgusted. But I want to get to your exposure at captain, though, in a second, because I think that's going to tell a big story here with how we go on this game. And we'll talk about what we saw in game one. Look at there's not a whole lot to glean from that. But what team would you rather be going into the offseason?
The Knicks, for sure. If you want to tell me it's the Cavs, I can get behind that to a degree. It's not the Heat.
Do the Hawks have any leverage going into the postseason? Like, can they
No,
do
they're in some trouble because they shipped out a bunch of those picks for DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Look, the Hawks are in a good spot if they can have sort of a miracle offseason. You know, you get your new coach in for a full season and stuff. They kind of cashed in a lot of their chips already, and not in a way that I think is a great idea. The Knicks are live with a shit ton of extra picks. Their books moving forward are really good. You know, like the Randall contract isn't appealing, but we're talking about a guy that, at least for the regular season, is an asset in the NBA. Like, he's not, it doesn't look good in the playoffs, but he can help. Like, a lot of teams would take that on at the very least. I'm not saying that you're going to get a haul for him by any chance, but they can upgrade. They have the ability to make a big, big swing. Like, I don't want this to sound like I'm a big Karl Anthony Towns guy. You're going to start hearing this sort of stuff. Or like, talk about Embiid if you want to moving forward. The Knicks have the capability to make that kind of like, we're going to go get another star move.
I'd love
those other teams don't.
I'd love for them to get Joel Embiid.
I mean, it'd be sweet.
What's your captain exposure look like? You said 17% Tatum right now. And then looking at ownership, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown. By the way, 50% off all of our tools, guys. Link is in the description. 50% off literally everything for the entire month or the week, however you want to play. You could do one sport. It's really all it is it's 50% off any package. Even if you just wanted to do the MLB lineup generator, 50% off. That's $4.48 a week. As Josh pointed out the other day, you have nothing to lose. If you're someone that's been trying to get it done and the results haven't been to your liking, to take it for a test drive for less than $4.50 for the first week, there's really nothing to lose. You know, it's less than well under $1 per day. Even if you're playing $2 a day, you're still, well, actually we have people in the Chalkboard app that are playing $2-3 a day, Josh, some of them even less, and have the lineup generator because it's still valuable as a time saver and giving them good lineups that they know have already been simulated that are already good lineups. So yeah, a lot of people already doing that. Jay with hit us up at Stochastic HOF the other day. Hey team, won this on the 511 slate, all lineup generator. And guess what? It was $2, Josh, on a single entry, I believe, into the Thursday pick and roll, 20 entry max, turned $2 into 750. So you see a lot of that with this tool.
That's an okay ROI, I guess.
Yeah, $2 in the 750. Yeah,
I think that'll cover the cost of lineup generator for a minute or two.
I would say so. Yeah, for years, for a long time.
Yeah,
and that's assuming you don't win again using it.
Yeah, you can buy it for a year at that point in time, and you're playing with house money. That's real house money. That's
real house. Yes, that's actual house money.
Yeah,
but guess what? You still don't like to lose it. You know?
No. I mean, I think it's going to make you continue to be successful, or at least certainly more successful than you were prior to having the lineup generator.
Yeah, you can say
that's the big thing. It's not going to be, it's not like an ATM that's just going to spit out money for you guys. But I'm confident in this statement. Whatever your talent level was prior to having the lineup generator, it will improve from that level.
Yeah. Well, look at the guys behind the scenes building these tools as well. You know, yeah, absolutely.
Nerds. Giant nerds that are dominating the DFS space.
Yep, that have way more money than me because they're nerds.
Dudes just using data and like not using their heart. I mean, are they the kind of guys you want to build your tools? Yes, exactly the people that I want to do that.
I want the My Truth people building my tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, just straight narrative. Like it's a guy's birthday and he's projected at the top.
Can you imagine just like you're in some science, you know, it's like this sea of PhD people testing like all the new latest shit. And then you just send in like a Facebook group of people that like to use peppermint oil because it fixes their chakra to those guys. Like, oh my God. No. I smelled lavender once and it cured cancer.
Yeah. They don't know what the word anecdotal means, but everything that comes out of their mouth is just anecdotal.
And that's the same.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be 72 degrees today? No, man. I went outside on my porch, licked my finger, and held it to the sky. I think it's going to be 44.
Lit up.
That's what we're doing here. everywhere. Get the lineup generator too.
Yeah, less than $4.50. You can set stack types too, which is massive. Set any type of stack you want, or just run it with all stack types. Lock players, swap them, upload the lineups to CSV, save or discard as many as you want. See the projected ownership, see the projection, right? The optimal rate on all of these. It's awesome. Or get 50% off everything and get every tool for every single sport, however you want to play it. When you see Steve Buzzard take down $750,000 in a month using these same tools that he built many of them, right, and works on them, you might, your ears might perk up. Anyway, links to both of those in the description. You'll see one says lineup generator, one says 50% off any weekly package. What's your exposure look like at captain today outside of Tatum?
Very flat to 5 people. Tatum, Brogdon, Brown, Williams, Bam Adebayo. I am under the field on captain for one James. Just kidding, not James, Jimmy Butler. But it's, I don't know, 15% across the board, basically. I don't like no more, no less. Yeah.
All right. Are there any
little tiny bit of smart, little tiny bit of Jimmy Butler, but it's Tatum, Brogdon, Brown, Time Lord, Bam.
It's kind of weird too, looking at Robert Williams. He's 57% projected ownership right now, coming off of last game where he started, played 26 minutes, which is about what you would have expected there. Perfectly reasonable game, but it's funny because the price point is basically not moved at all on Robert Williams.
Yeah, so the good thing about Time Lord today is that if he doesn't get the minutes that you're hoping that he gets, 4,600 is still like a really nice play on a point per dollar basis. Yep. We're talking about him being priced $400 cheaper than Caleb Martin. He's priced just like Kevin Love. So like, on the off chance that Robert Williams plays the minutes that you expect Kevin Love to play, we're still talking about a guy that should be like 20% owned. I'm not going to be surprised if Robert Williams doesn't start tonight. I think they're going to go to potentially Brogdon, maybe Derek White. I think they're going to get away from the 2 big lineup because I don't think it's I don't think it's as valid in this series.
Wouldn't you still want Brogdon off the bench, though? I mean, he can effectively...
Dude, he played 37 minutes last time.
Right, but that doesn't mean anything in the sense that he could still serve as a de facto starter, but you're coming off the bench and you're at least... You don't think so?
It's the playoffs. There's no bench anymore. We're talking about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown playing 42 minutes apiece in a game. Like, it's...
Right, but I'm saying if that's...
There's no overlap any longer. It's not like he's just picking up 16 minutes in the first and second quarters because those guys sit.
But if that happens to be the case, then what you're suggesting is a possibility, then you could see Robert Williams' minutes tank, not just go down. You could see his minutes tank if that's the case.
Yeah, I think so.
Because at that rate, you're only getting backup Horford minutes. And who knows how many Horford.
I think you could see him and Horford play alongside of each other for like 4 minutes today.
Okay, which is still in the grand scheme meaningless if you're getting to a ton of Robert Williams, expecting him to play 26, 28 minutes.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's the thing. We're going to know this. It's not like we have to get, like if we had to guess the starting lineup, I think that this could be actually a very interesting place to like zig when everybody else is zagging for Boston. We're going to get this at 8 o'clock and know what we need to do. But the moment that he's not starting, you're taking whatever projection you have for Robert Williams and you're cutting it dramatically. That said, again, still an interesting play, but I think Malcolm Brogdon is going to get the biggest benefit here.
Are there any discounted players? I want to hit on the important stuff here. There's no need to go through every single player and be like, hey, do you like Jaylen Brown today? Is he viable? Yeah, of course he is. Yeah. I'd much rather get into the conversation of, hey, what type of maybe discounted or not just discounted or low-owned captain plays do you think might be viable? Because you've got real spread out ownership. It's flat across the board for you, like 15 to everyone, unlike days where you'd see Jokic at 50% captain or something insane. Are there ways that we can get different at captain on DraftKings?
I mean, he's 9% right now, but just like I mentioned before, I like the idea of going to Malcolm Brogdon at captain. That opens you up to sort of getting that extra pay up option in the utility spot. So like I've got a Brogdon lineup. I don't know, it's like 6th or so for me. Doesn't have a 1K punt, has Brogdon at captain, but you can get to Tatum, Brown, and Bam. Like you can get to 3 pay ups with a Brogdon captain, and I sort of like that construction. Okay. Or you can get to like 2+2 mid pay ups. Like I've got a Brogdon lineup with Tatum, Brown, Smart, and Lowry.
Bam Adebayo's a 9% captain right now. Robert Williams at 7. I mean, is that something you're staying away from? What if he starts?
No.
You'll get to Robert Williams a captain.
Right now I have him 2x the field at that captain ownership. Same for Bam as well. Like I had Bam come out of my sim 12% captain. He's 9% owned. I have Robert Williams at like 6.5% captain, which is about where his ownership is. So I think that's proper. It just sort of opens things up because of his salary.
What about Smart? How about that 11 assist game from Marcus Smart? 13 and 11 double-double. That was something else. That's his first double-double since January 14th, Josh. Oof. So, yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah, it's what, almost, it's over 4 months since he's double-double. But, I mean, besides the point, that's an outlier performance as far as playmaking goes for Marcus Smart. 34 minutes in that game. He's not a high shot volume guy. Fortunately, most of his field goal attempts will come from beyond the arc, so maybe he gets hot. Are you on board with the fact that he's currently getting, close to double-digit ownership at captain and 51% ownership in all?
No, I think he's a little over-owned. Nothing too crazy. Like clearly a guy that you should. I got 40% overall, but I think that utility ownership is a tad high. Nothing too crazy. I am a little bit lighter, but 7,200. You need a very specific day out of Smart. Just feels a little high. That's all. Nothing great. Like I agree. I have 40%. He's 50% owned. I'm not going to come on here and be like, you gotta fade Marcus Smart, because that's not how I feel. But at 51%, I'd like a little bit less.
Hunter asked, are we worried about Brogdon's status at all while getting more minutes / field goal attempts? Well, I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, White. I'm sorry. White.
No.
The thing about White is that White was starting, and White was, if anything, you just can continue to be more worried about White. White was playing 30+ minutes a game against Philly and against Atlanta. He was playing legitimately 30+ minutes every single game. He has since played 19, 12, and 21. So maybe he gets to 20 again, 22, but Brogdon still played 37. So no, I wouldn't be worried about that at all. They need Malcolm Brogdon if they're going to win this series.
Yeah, I mean, he played the final 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah. No, they need Malcolm Brogdon for sure.
He's holding up better defensively than I was expecting. And if that's going to be the case, then you just got to get him out there.
Absolutely. He's also someone that just once in a while catches lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. It's an incredible pickup by Boston, getting him in.
So good. Josh of Los Angeles. What's up, Josh? Thanks for the super chat, man. Do you guys expect Grant Williams to play more today if Time Lord doesn't start? That's a good question, Josh, for a show.
I can't even answer it. I've been trying to jam Grant Williams into my lineups for a week and a half. The dude never gets on the floor. You're asking the wrong person at this point.
Yeah. I guess this question. Well, yeah, you were jamming him before Robert Williams was starting. So
I don't know why he's not playing. I can't figure it out. It makes no sense to me. I tweeted about it before the last game, asking, did Ime Udoka bang Grant Williams? And that's what the giant problem is and why he can't play, because I can't figure it out. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all.
Wait,
this dude's gonna get like real money in free agency, and he's not a part of this rotation as a defensive guy that shoots 40% from three. I cannot wrap my head around it.
If he banged Grant Williams, wouldn't they be trying to give Grant Williams more minutes? Or are you saying this was consensual?
Who knows? Who knows, man?
Okay, so who would you give him the minutes over?
Grant Williams? I certainly wouldn't need to play Peyton Pritchard for 12 of them or whatever the hell they did the last time out. You can soften Al Horford's minutes if you need to.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to, I'm not saying that I think that Grant Williams should be out there playing 36 or something, but there seems to be at least 12 around there if you want to go to Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard getting 12 minutes in that game, actual significant minutes in a playoff game, is pretty shocking when you see that it comes at the expense of Grant Williams.
Yeah, We've seen Grant Williams do it in the playoffs too. It's not like he's some unproven guy. I mean, what was the ridiculous playoff game that he had where he knocked down all those threes last year, 2 years ago, whenever that was? I
don't remember specifically, but yeah, I remember.
39.5% from three this season, 41% from three last season. And it's not like that's on 1.5 attempts. He's willing to let it go. He's better. He's the Boston PJ Tucker right now with a more willingness ability to shoot. I just don't get it. I'm truly dumbfounded. I'm going to continue to project him for minutes. Today, I'm not getting him. I'm sure he's going to play 16 and be the key to everything that you do. I've been trying to play this dude for the past 2 series. I fail over and over.
So on PrizePicks yesterday, we had another one, Josh.
I didn't have one, that's for sure. 0 for 2.
I told Greg that was going to happen. I said Josh was getting too big for his britches here.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Look, Aaron Gordon got more minutes than I was expecting. Took an over there, didn't work out. Dennis Schroeder played. All he needed to do was shoot 1 free throw. Hasn't shot a free throw in 5 games now. That's not helping matters.
Yeah.
1. I needed somebody to foul him while he threw some garbage at the rim. It didn't happen.
Well, you reset, you get back at it. Jermaine had a shot at $1 million yesterday on PrizePicks. He went with 6 overs here, all from the same game. You know, what we were talking about yesterday, I'm in agreement with you that PrizePicks should just say you have to do basketball. But given that you don't have to do basketball, there's no doubt in my mind that this card is minus EV if you're going with 6 basketball picks on a night that has many different sports. That's what I was getting at the other day.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah. So you're going straight 1 game, all 6 of them.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
For sure.
But you should have to do that.
But no, that right. So that was a disconnect with us the other day because I'm with you there. Just from a marketing perspective, yes. But what I'm saying is if I get an opportunity and they say pick whatever sports you want, I'm not pigeonholing myself into just basketball because I guarantee you there probably weren't more than 8. No, on PrizePicks, there probably weren't 6 plus EV spots yesterday. There probably weren't 6 plus EV spots when he made this card for 1 game.
No, not at all. I mean, I assume that most people that are doing this don't know what EV stands for. So
I know, but I'm just saying, what if someone watching the show gets an opportunity? You know, you never know.
I hope it's me.
They'll know. They'll know how to put themselves in a good spot. We have the Pick'em Pro tool anyway, and the Bet Pro tool on Stochastic. Your first week of that's entirely free, regardless. Like if you're on PrizePicks already, you should be using those. It's just giving you the best ones for every card. You're just picking the over or the under on all of them, and you're getting a free month of Stochastic Plus Platinum in the process, which is ridiculous. It's $120 value. You're getting $100 first match deposit bonus when you sign up at PrizePicks. So let's say you maxed it out, which you should. If you can't, whatever, 10 still turns into 20. So you max it out. You got $100 turns into 200. So you just made 100 right there. Your balance is doubled. Then you get another $120 free month of Stochastic Plus Platinum, every tool for every sport, including the premium Discord. It's another 120. So you're up 220 already. And then you can use those tools to win more money.
Who doesn't want more money?
These are not depreciating assets, is what I'm saying, Josh.
No, they're getting better with time.
For Jermaine, it certainly was, though, and ended up being a tough night. Over Anthony Davis, 53 fantasy points. Did he get there?
I think
probably
so.
Right around 53. I'm gonna say no.
5 stocks, 18. No, he probably didn't.
I think it was right under the number. Nikola Jokic, I talked about this on the show. People get spooked on unders with star players, but 53.5 is a massive number. That showed up in the parlay builder when Ben and I were on the odd shop, and he's like, should we manually override it? Don't manually override this. Don't do it. Nikola Jokic came in at 52, Josh, under 53.5. Bruce Brown, 3-pointers made. Yes, he did get that. D'Angelo Russell, over 20.5 PRA. No, that was 18. I had D'Angelo Russell over 3.5 assists, and I knew that was going to win when Brandon Katz called me a dummy and said it was a terrible bet. When Brandon Katz said that, I knew, all right, I got this in the bag. I've won this already. And without question, it won.
That's what you get for leaving Brandon Katz in a show chat.
Yeah, I know. Jamal Murray over 25.5 points. That won. And Michael Porter Jr. over 8+ rebounds and assists. Did he get there? He got 10. So wait, did he get 4 here? No, he got 3. He got 3. Okay.
AD had 51.8.
Oh man. He got 3 out of 6. He needed a couple fantasy points to win 16. That sucks. But yeah, they're doing $1 million opportunity every single day of the NBA playoffs. I've actually had fun paying attention to this and talking about it on the show. Josh's video for PrizePicks on OddsShopper free every day up until he bragged heavily and lost 2. He was like 17-3 over the last stretch. If you're not at PrizePicks, use the link in the description or in chat. Get the free month of Stochastic, $120 value, deposit match bonus. And any day during the playoffs that you enter a 6-pick flex play over at PrizePicks, you're entered to have an opportunity to maybe have them hit you up and go, hey, you want a shot at winning $1 million? All right, here you go. Check it out. Link in the description. Let's talk about your optimal lineup right now and your top, let's go 10 lineups for today. I'm curious to see where they're coming in at.
All right, let me resort my sheet and we can start talking about it. Oh, man. What do you got going on the rest of today?
Working. We got I got a few things. I got to mow the lawn at some point. And then I got MLB Live before lock today as well at 6:00. I wonder if Adam knows he's on MLB Live before lock.
Well, Adam had been bitching about the schedule to me in DMs, but he just learned that he was looking at next week.
Next Friday. Yeah, the TBD I saw.
Yeah, not the brightest bulb, but you know.
Oh, and by the way, thanks guys. Up over 100 likes. We didn't ask more than once today.
We did not.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
You're good.
No, I was going to start getting into this. So what were you going to say?
Let's do it. Let's dive into it. I'm curious to see what's your top lineup right now.
My current highest projected lineup: Malcolm Brogdon, captain. Tatum, Brown, Adebayo, Vincent, Time Lord.
All right. I don't mind it.
I mean, everything that I'm going to name is going to sound good on paper.
Of course. No 1K players today?
My third lineup gets your first 1K guy.
It does. Okay.
Tatum, captain. Brown, Bam, Smart, Time Lord, Cody Zeller.
Wait, you said Tatum captain?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any Butler captain lineups that we could look at real quick?
I do. Jimmy Butler captain lineup. My highest ranked Jimmy Butler captain lineup is Butler, Tatum, Smart, Brogdon, Time Lord, Zeller.
Do we know what the optimal lineup was from last night?
Yes. It punted with the 0. Oh,
again?
Yeah.
Again? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I expect that to happen more often than not.
The only reason that I wasn't certain that it did is because Jokic didn't have a monster game. Murray was great. Don't get me wrong. And yeah, LeBron was good. Davis had 50, but nobody had the 80-point banger. And then where you needed to get a button, like Jokic, Davis, Murray the other night or whatever that was. So yeah, what was it?
It was Murray captain, Jokic, LeBron, AD. Sorry, Murray captain, Jokic, LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui, Hunt.
So no AD.
No AD. Yeah.
That's a nice lineup.
Yeah. I mean, people got kind of unlucky because Reggie Jackson played 3 real minutes. So if Reggie Jackson was your 1K punt, he had the opportunity to fall into a stat. Tristan Thompson played as well for like 30 seconds, didn't get a rebound. But if any one of those guys would have gotten that, it would have split that tie.
Isn't that crazy that you go, oh, okay, we're projecting, not projecting them, but let's say they play 2 minutes.
Reggie Jackson played 3. Like, it is a bad beat for him to not acquire anything.
That's the craziest thing about a game like that is in showdowns where everyone's playing huge minutes and you've got all these superstars, one rebound, one steal that you fall into could be the difference between chopping, 100,000, 100 ways and soloing or having, a 3-way chop for 100,000. That's insane.
I like looking at it for Reggie Jackson the opposite way. Imagine if he got a turnover and all of the Reggie Jackson people removed themselves from first because he acquired a negative 0.5 point.
Do you have ownership pulled up from that slate?
From yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I want to know what the ownership was on the 1K guys.
A couple percentage points across the board. Not 20 to DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was if there were 1 or 2 guys that got more than the others. Significant.
Yeah, there are. Give me 1 second. I could sort to this. So if we just look at 1K guys, Malik Beasley was 5.5. Troy Brown was 3.5. Gabriel was 2.5. Tristan Thompson was 2. Reggie Jackson was 1. DeAndre Jordan was 1. And then there's probably like 2% aggregate to everybody else. So 5, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, probably something like 17% total to 1%ers. So that's how Adam and I broke it down on Deeper Dive. I was just like, look, it's not a DeAndre Jordan thing, but assume like 20% total ownership going to 1%ers scattered across all of them.
But that is a bad beat on Reggie Jackson at 1%.
Yeah. Played 3 minutes.
All he needed was anything. One stat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see how many people had Reggie Jackson in the winning lineup.
That's what I was going to say. How many people would have chopped if Reggie Jackson had a rebound? Or one.
So it was 154 people had the winning lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 had Reggie Jackson.
Damn. What did those 154 people win?
$1,600.
Wow.
Yeah. Same, I guess, similar story for Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson was in 23 of those lineups. He got on the floor for like 12 seconds at the end of the first half.
Crazy. 10 of them had Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson just farts his way into one single stat. And the people that had Reggie Jackson have like 10 times as much money as they did today.
Exactly. Wow. That's a great,
none of the people that played Reggie Jackson were 150 maxers.
Say it again.
None of the people that played Reggie Jackson were 150 maxers.
Wow.
6 of the 10 were single bullets. One guy had him twice. Same lineup twice out of his 12, which I don't even know how you do that.
Mike L said, I see him coming in and thought, oh shit, I did it. Then what it done. Yeah. Oh, I can't imagine the feeling of seeing Reggie Jackson check into the game.
I'd break everything in my house if I watched him play 3 minutes and he did dick.
Right.
Which, like, you don't know that lineup matters at that time, but like if you took a stand on Reggie Jackson, like you're cheering for Reggie Jackson.
Of course. But realistically, Reggie Jackson not doing anything over the course of a 3-minute stretch is not all that unlikely.
I mean, I think it's really, really unlikely.
It's not. The way that basketball works is you see it often where they go like, yes, okay, you might average this many fantasy points per minute, but it's still not crazy to go Reggie Jackson played 3 minutes and didn't have a fan. Plus,
he's got to be 80% plus to acquire some fantasy point.
I'm not sure of that. If he hit a 3, if he played 4 minutes and he hit 1 3 in the 4th minute of that 4-minute stretch, you're still going, okay, that's 0.75 fantasy points per minute. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would have been happy with 0.25 fantasy points per minute.
I get it.
That's all it takes. It's got to be like 80% plus to acquire any stat.
Now we have to figure out how to figure that out. I'm just saying the way
I can do that.
The way stats are accumulated in basketball is a lot different. Like they come in bunches, and because it's not just 1 point every time you score, it might be 3 or 2. So, you could hit a 3 and then not do anything for 3 minutes, but you're still, I don't know. He's just not somebody that touches the ball regularly either. So it's not shocking to me.
It's Reggie Jackson. If he's not out there to touch the ball regularly, you don't put Reggie Jackson on the floor. Who cares? It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, if he was out there without Jokic and Murray, I'd say that's significant.
I can't imagine they take both of those guys off at the same time. Reggie Jackson was out there
with Murray.
Yeah. And Jokic.
Yeah. So I'm not shocked.
I'm shocked. By the way, Ken, how many possessions in 3 minutes? 6. For every minute, there's 2 possessions. John P says it's hard to produce in 3 minutes if you're not regularly playing. It's no different. If I'm Reggie Jackson and I get into a playoff game for the first time, I'm looking for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It should be easier for Reggie Jackson to produce in that situation, because if I haven't played, I'm certainly looking to want to get the coach's eye. I'd like to play again.
That ship has sailed.
Right, but like if he's willing to put you in to close out the final 3 minutes of the first quarter, I am doing everything that I possibly can to get another minute after that. No, you've never played basketball. Nope, never. Never even stepped on the floor, didn't get paid to coach it. None of that shit.
Did you get paid to coach basketball?
Damn right I did.
Handsomely, I imagine.
I think it was $850. I think I lost money just getting to the school. And in fact, I 100% lost money. Dude, my buddy had the other job. He didn't even take his paycheck because he got a DUI during the season and didn't want that to come out.
Yeah, you could still, it's like the Ben Affleck as the alcoholic basketball coach.
Yeah, exactly.
What movie was that?
Oh, fuck.
I thought
The Way Back. Yeah. I almost said Revolutionary Road, and I was like, that's not it. And then I almost said Coach Carter, and I was like, no, that's not it again.
Coach Carter was sweet.
It's fine.
Good movie.
It's fine. Shout out to Skills.
Any other thoughts you have for this slate before we wrap this one up? From a game theory perspective, anything differently we can do? I do think it's fascinating. We break down these lineups, though, even though it's not the game that we're talking about today. Just looking at a Lakers-Nuggets game, seeing that a 0 won it on back-to-back games in that series, it is really interesting.
I'm anticipating a starting lineup change for today. Pay attention to that at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
That's my biggest takeaway here. I think we're going to see a starting lineup change today and at the beginning of game 3.
All right. Celtics or Heat spread?
Celtics.
You can lay the 9?
Yeah.
I think I am too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
That won't be a fun sweat late. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, you're up 15 and all of a sudden now it's 9 again.
Hey, Mike L said, so since hooking up with you guys, $2,800 in the bank. Well, that's how much Mike charges.
I hope that's good.
Congrats, man.
I mean, I hope you didn't have 5,800 before that.
Yeah. Can't thank you enough. No, that's awesome, dude. I love to hear that. Like I said, guys, the tools are we do 50% off everything because we expect you to win. And, if you don't and you don't like it, you know that you got a good opportunity to check it all out. The links are down there. Or finish top 3 in a tournament, field of 5,000 or more, as long as you're repping the stochastic avatar. I cannot tell you. I can't tell you how many people are winning contests with 5,000 plus people that are a nickel or a dime or a quarter to enter, and they're getting the free month of Stochastic Plus Platinum by simply downloading the avatar at stochastic.com/avatar, using it wherever you play, right? Make it your avatar. This works for us and it works for you. That's why we do it. It's good for everybody. Finish top 3 in a field of 5,000 or more and tweet us at Stochastic HOF. Of course, include Josh and myself because we like seeing you guys win. If you do, you're getting a free month of Stochastic Plus Platinum and you're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, which might be the greatest honor of your life. You bring the family around, you say, honey, I did it. I finally did it. And
If that's the greatest, look, I love the company that I work for. I don't want to be anywhere else. It is great to be here. We are the best in the industry. It is not close. If that's the highlight of your life, that is the saddest shit I've ever heard.
And then she goes, "What is it, John? I'm making dinner." And you pull her over around the computer.
Trying to think about somebody else while we have sex.
And you show her the Hall of Fame. You say, "Here it is. Here it is coming up," right? And then Jordan starts live before lock a little bit earlier than usual, and it just cuts off right as your name comes
And
up.
now we got to talk about welcome to NBA Live Before Lock. Shit.
She's like, "You're so full of shit, John. You can
You're
do it.
doing
You're
shit.
just losing money playing DFS. You want to act like you won a tournament. Oh, the potatoes are cold."
Mom, the meatloaf.
Yeah. I'm telling you, though, you gather the family around and you show them your crowning achievement. Kind of like from the Christmas Story. It's a great reward, Josh, for Gila.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that is what the Hall of Fame is. It's a leg lamp.
The Hall of Fame's sick, though, man, because a lot of people try to get into it for a long time. You do, and you get the shout out. Plus, you're getting the free month anyway.
Should we create like a pyramid system where we have like an inner circle? The people that, I don't want to try to say that some wins are better than others, but like you get somebody popping that 100K upwards, some like the goal, they get their jersey retired, so to speak.
I'm with you, but I was also thinking of having like a running mega heaters board, right? So remember, we've had a few people over the years that have just gone on some of the most insane, and I'm not talking about Steve Buzzard, the Colts, who's with the casting, right? He's
that would have been one. That one would have qualified.
Right, but I'm saying Peter Henley is a perfect example. Remember that one he went on?
Yeah.
Who was the other guy, the math teacher? He was a math professor, I think.
Gene
Kim, right?
Yeah.
Gene Kim went on an insane heater. So we've had some of those. We really should do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
what can we call it? I don't know, something. What's the back room of Titty Bar called? Like the champagne room?
Yeah, the champagne room.
We can put like Adam's face as the logo of that bad boy. It's got to be like an Adam silhouette with the stochastic colors and name on it. And when you make the inner circle, you get a different avatar.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
You're in the stochastic champagne club.
We should send them something too. Anyway,
a leg lamp.
Yeah. I actually want to get a leg lamp for my office.
No, don't do that.
I think I want to
do it. No, it's jump the shark.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
You're right.
Can't do it.
You're right.
You got to get both legs or something like that, or like it's got to have the crotch in it. You got to evolve.
You're right, because too many people have done it. Now,
just get an arm.
No, here's what hasn't jumped the shark. If you did it on Christmas and actually proudly displayed it in the front window of your house.
Awful.
No, that'd be great.
Awful. No, no.
There's one guy that has this setup where it looks like he's falling off a ladder and he's dangling there.
Hate it.
It's the greatest. The cops showed up. It's hilarious.
They should. No, same with those billboards where it looks like somebody's stuck on the end of the billboard.
Why?
I hate that shit.
That's so good.
Dangerous. You don't want a driver thinking they need to jerk the car over and stop, coming to somebody's rescue.
You make no sense at all. You're worried about
very against it. I'm against all decorations for Christmas.
You're worried about things being dangerous now?
I'm against Christmas in general.
Yeah, of course you are. We'll see you guys back
here. It's a horrible holiday. Horrible holiday.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I love it for children. For adults, you should be embarrassed. We have allowed them to commercialize our lives, and we don't even look at it like that. That is true. It's an embarrassment. People feeling obligated to buy other grown people gifts.
Oh, I don't know.
What am I supposed to get Uncle Tim? It's like, who knows? He's 55 years old.
Maybe that's why I don't hate Christmas, because I don't participate in any of that shit.
I am team children for Christmas. That is the coolest shit in the world. Yep. They light up. It's great. It's great. I should never have to think, what are we getting for my Uncle Mark?
Do you and
the
your
grown
wife
man with money?
Do you and your wife get each other gifts?
Not a lot.
Okay.
We'll do like one thing.
We used to, and we don't.
We used to all the time. When it's like, the beginning of relationships, you're doing that shit.
Right.
I have nothing left to buy her. We have all of the shit we could possibly want.
Anything she wants, she can already buy. Is the problem? Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna do a worse job of choosing the things that she wants.
Exactly. Like either you could go on Amazon or I can.
Yeah. Right. It's like she's gonna get me a pair of sneakers. I'm gonna be cool with that, and she can pick whatever she wants. But that's fine. Like that's after that we're done. What's she gonna buy me? Like she's gonna buy me tech? She's gonna buy me a new monitor? No, I'm gonna buy it.
You know what Justine usually gets me? Like a nice bottle of whiskey, nice bottle of bourbon. And I'm very happy with it. Very happy.
Yeah, like I don't. It doesn't take. I'm not expecting surprises any longer.
Could I? And you know what it is? It's one thing. Like, could I have gone and gotten that expensive bottle myself? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't do it on my own. So that's a nice little gift. It's the nice gift. If I go, I'm probably buying a bottle of Jack or something. But I stopped drinking whiskey.
On Thursdays or
no, I haven't had any whiskey in 3 weeks. You know why?
Am I supposed to like applaud you for that or give you a chip or something?
No, I'm still drinking other stuff.
Okay.
It's having such messy dumps in the morning.
That's the best part.
No, it's the worst, dude. I'd probably save 15.
When I'm home, I'm fine when it's a war zone. I just don't want to have to leave the house and not know how I'm going to sop that up.
That you don't mind just the laborious wiping? It takes up 30 minutes?
No.
That's crazy.
No.
I don't want to have to jump in the shower after I take a dump.
I mean, there are worse things. You know what we need to do for Christmas this year? I think we both need to do this.
What?
We should co-gift each other bidets.
Yo, I was just looking at them.
I look at them constantly. I don't know why I don't buy it. I have the means. I wouldn't even notice that I spend more on DFS entry fees on a day-to-day basis. I shit constantly.
The only thing is there's certain ones don't have like the water regulator, the water temperature regulator. So your whole
if we're doing it, we're doing it. Right. We're talking like 300-400 bones.
I need warm water.
I need not cold water.
That's what I mean.
Those are two different things.
You know those things where they put the airbags under the seat cushion and you don't see it coming?
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen to me the first time.
No, I don't want to be in my ceiling. The Toto Washlet C5.
What's it
is
cost?
The wire 400.
Okay.
I think that's a bargain.
Yeah, you know what? Let me do some digging.
Let's just say you shit once a day. We're talking about a quarter a day over 4 years to own that toilet seat.
Right.
I would put a quarter in there like it was a ride outside of a grocery store just to have a better experience.
Same thing as the lineup generator. You play $2 a day, you're paying it off in, less than a week. I'm with you. Except in this case, one may argue it's more valuable.
I would say it's comparable. Oh, dude, this is the one. Luxury features. Pre-mist cleansing. Mists the inside of the bowl so nothing sticks. Great first step. Love it. Heated seat.
That's
huge. You can't tell me that you wouldn't want a heated seat in like the middle of January in Pennsylvania.
That's huge.
Air deodorizer. Apparently it just takes the poo-poo smells and gets rid of them somehow. Warm air dryer. Like a butthole hand dryer.
Okay, so this is basically a spa day every time you sit down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's like an extra option to get like a reach around or something. Good God.
Yo, do you remember the old toilet seats that certain like friends would have that had the cushion seat on it kind of?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had one of those for a bit.
It's super awesome at the time, but I look back on it just think that must have been so gross.
Oh, so bad. I mean, those seats were
so
bad
nice and warm.
That's what I was just gonna. They retained too much heat.
Yeah, it was so. I
don't want someone else's warmth when I get there.
Right, that's the problem. But if it's like your first one on it for the day, fine. We'll see you guys back here on. We got to do Sunday 7:30, I think, man.
Huh.
Yeah, the game's at 8:30.
I think somebody's gonna start drinking whiskey again.
I won't do. I'm not doing it to myself. The mornings have been wonderful for me, and I refuse.
Well, what are you drinking now?
Don't worry about it. We'll see you back here Sunday at 7:30. I'll tell you, whatever.
Miller Lite, Bud Light.
What?
Which one are you not allowed to drink now?
Oh, I said this the other day. My buddy's like, yo, I was in Costco and or BJ's or whatever, Sam's. And now they have Bud Light for half off. It's like 36 of them for $14. And I said, you'd be an idiot not to buy those. Forget about all of that. Be an idiot not to buy them. If you generally drank it, I mean, look, somebody's going to buy it. Makes no difference. Your moral standing in all of this makes zero difference. If you're getting 60% off, just do it. Who cares? That's where I stand on this, Josh. Who gives a shit? You get a good deal, take it.
I'm so afraid to just open up the can thinking I'm getting a beer and all of a sudden it's a wine.
We'll see you guys on Sunday. Later.